What's the most disturbing thing you've seen happen at a family birthday party? Me and my entire family all hate my grandma on my dad's side, except for, well, my dad. It all started when I was 7 years old, because whenever we were all at a restaurant together and I was ordering, she would pinch my arm and tell me I was disgustingly skinny, and I needed to eat more otherwise I would die alone. She would then plaster this look of pity on her face as if she felt really bad for me. For context, my mom is Asian and my dad is Irish, so me and my siblings were all Asian baddies, aka naturally skinny, but her comments always made me really insecure, especially since I always ate exactly the amount I wanted to LOL, and to make things worse, my dad gave her a spare key to our house, so once in a while when we were all fast asleep, she would barge right in and start going through all our things. My mom's files, me and my siblings' shared wardrobe, everything. And since she refused to wear adult diapers, she would always leave poop stains around our home, including the radiator, the couch, and all the chairs. Ugh, literally grosses me out to even think about. Anyway, since I'm the oldest, when I turned 15, my mom finally told me the tea. Before me and my siblings were born, my granny always made racist comments to my mom. Sometimes she'd raise her eyes until they looked like slits and say, "Hey, see, now we look the same." And whenever my mom would cook meals for them, ones that took hours to make by the way, she'd scream, "No, don't tell me you cooked the dog!" Lame af. And I kept all my mom's gossip from my sibs and dad, but my brother hated her regardless, lol. But my little sister Millie, on the other hand, she was always a little rebellious. My parents could say the sky was blue, and she would argue that it was purple. Always wanted to disagree. So when she turned 12, she chose to become my granny's little doll. She started off by making racist jokes, like a pick-me, but for race instead of gender. Sometimes she'd go through our mom's files and send photos to Granny. But the breaking point came when we finally moved house and Granny no longer had a spare key, because Millie took the liberty of printing her a new one. That's when I finally fessed up to my mom to watch out for her. She told me she'd keep an eye out, but we both figured it wouldn't cause any major problems. I was 16 when my granny's 85th birthday was coming up. My dad said that one of us, my brother or sister, had to plan it, and if they didn't do a good job, then they'd find themselves sleeping outside for the rest of the year. You see, I had already volunteered dozens of times to be the one to step up and hang out with her. So I guess my dad wanted my siblings to put in effort too. But if you're the oldest child, then you understand that title means constantly doing shit you don't want to do. So when Millie came to me right after my dad left and asked if I could plan it and pretend like she was the one to do it, I immediately agreed. It was just easier that way. Fast forward to my granny's big day. I themed the entire thing as St. Patrick's Day, since that was the day that my granny's birthday fell on. And as you can probably tell, she's mad patriotic. I made everyone wear jerseys, there were shamrocks everywhere, and for dinner we had homemade roast chicken with roast potatoes and boiled carrots, a classic. As soon as the chicken came out of the oven, my sister shouted, "Ugh, I did such a good job! This chicken is amazing!" I just rolled my eyes and let her have her fun. But as we sat down, my granny started praising her. "Millie, did you really do all this? All for me?" She then put her hand on her heart as if she was really touched. "Yes, I did. You know, Tara, my name, was insisting that I cook Asian-style duck, but I said F no." While my sister threw her head back and laughed, my dad and granny both stared at me with their fists clenched. But the meal was so good that they were soon distracted, and everything was fine again. Or so I thought. Because just 10 minutes later, Millie said something that changed the energy of the whole room. "You know, this whole time Tara has been stopping me from doing stuff for you, Granny. She said she's the only one who's capable out of the three of us." My idiot dad believed her straight away. I guess it was easier than accepting that we all hated his mother. Immediately he stood up and dragged me into the bedroom upstairs, right in front of everyone. And right as he raised his arm up to strike my behind, I cried out, "She's lying! I planned this entire dinner!" He froze midair. I kept bracing for impact, wondering whether or not I was still going to be hit. He immediately stormed out of the room too, grabbed my sister. What he did next made me regret saying anything. Full story on channel, link below.